You ready to let the dogs out?
What?
Do what?
From the All Indiana Podcast Network.
Join Pet Pals TV's Patty Spitler as we celebrate our furry friends.
Cats, dogs, and all the critters in your family.
Celebrate the bond between pets and people and meet Hoosier heroes saving four-legged lives.
I love it. Good. I'm glad.
It's the Positively Patty Podcast.
I can't wait anymore. Me neither.
Now, your host, here's Wish TV contributor Patty Spitler.
Coming up on Positively Patty Podcast today, we're talking with Kenny Shuck. Kenny is the founder, owner of Clancy's Dream. It is a Border Collie rescue. What do you need to know about Border Collies? They are active, they are smart. And also, we're going to touch on the very delicate and really upsetting subject of puppy mills. What can we do to get rid of them? They are horrible. And we're going to try our very best to educate and to help you know your breed. So stay with us. Positively Patty Podcast. And welcome to the Positively Patty Podcast today. Ooh, I'm getting some kisses from Whiskey. Whiskey is a Border Collie. We'll talk about her in just a second. And we'll talk about, she's so sweet, the gentleman who rescued her and has a Border Collie rescue called Clancy's Dream. Welcome, Kenny Shuck, President and CEO and founder of Clancy's Dream. Did I get that right?
You did. You got that right. Thank you, Patty. It's good to be here.
Where are you located?
We're actually located in Brown County, Indiana. We've got a Seymour address, but that's the post office where the mail comes from. But we actually are involved all over the state. We've got about 40 volunteers that we work with just here locally. We've got transports that go all over the U.S., and we've used Pilots and Paws, a private airplane group, to fly our dogs around.
Yep, I'm familiar with Pilots and Paws. We've done some stories with them. They're wonderful people.
They are.
Too.
They do great job.
They give their time and their talents to help rescue. Go ahead, yes.
So it works out really well. It's the involvement that really makes it work. It's not any one person, but it's the people and the groups of people that get together to say, "Hey, let's save a dog. Let's make life better."
Okay. What do they say? You say it may not change everybody's life, but it certainly changes the dog's life if you can rescue him. You know.
Yeah, that's that old story of a little girl throwing starfish in the ocean. A man walked up and said, "There's thousands and millions of starfish that need saved. What matter does it make?" And the little girl turned and said, "It matters to this one."
You got it. Hallelujah. I love that. Okay, it's Clancy's Dream, C-L-A-N-C-Y, no apostrophe, C-L-A-N-C-Y-S, dream.org, right?
Correct.
To get in touch with your website.
Yes.
We'll mention that again during the podcast. Now, let's back up a little bit here. I'm just smiling at Whiskey. I love Whiskey. Actually, I don't like Whiskey, but I do like Whiskey the dog. It came to my attention Facebook, and I saw on your Facebook page that you had rescued 11 Border Collies from a puppy mill. 11 Border Collies.
Right.
Puppy mills. Their feet had never touched the ground. They did not... it's even hard to say. They lived on wire cages. They bred. And these are dogs that are very active. And by many instances, experts will say they're the smartest dogs out there. To put these dogs in this situation is more than horrible. And I even cried when I read your post. So I got in touch with you. We had you on Wish TV News, and now we're reaching more with the podcast. What can you tell us? Number one, tell us about the 11 dogs that you rescued. They're doing pretty good.
They're doing much better. They're technically feral dogs at this point, but we're making they're in an organization, or they're on a farm with one of our board members that we actually have a kennel, and there we have the majority of the dogs. And people, what's making it work so well, they're coming in and they're visiting, they're trying to work with the dogs, they're just in the presence of people. So this helps a great deal. But now it actually was a lot more than 11 dogs. We just got 11 dogs in our organization. There was about 36 to 38 dogs in one facility. Now that technically that's a little bit low on the puppy mill situation. The one that we had in Lafayette was up in the 60s. But in these dogs, we're making great strides and great success, and we're actually farming some out to certified fosters that will know how to take care of them and know how to pull them out of their shelf.
Right. Well, they're not socialized, are they?
No, they've
zero. Never been around people. They've never been around anything, but much, as you said, they're feral. They don't know any, and they think humans, if there are any, they're bad. So they have to learn that it can be good.
And it's little steps. That's what really makes it, is a little step today, a little step tomorrow, and you just build and build and build. And once the dog starts starts feeling a little comfortable, then it seems to work out a great deal. So, but we're succeeding very well on these dogs. But we had a big puppy mill situation up in Warsaw, Indiana, I believe about last year, that we got about 20 dogs out of, and it's the same situation.
How many dogs have you rescued so far then? Border Collies, approximately?
It's in the hundreds. I don't know.
Wow. I mean, wow. That's a big wow. Whiskey says, "Hi, Dad. I'm going to come over and I'm going to look at you again." She likes to lick your whiskers.
Yeah, she does. She's a licker. She's a great little dog.
Oh, and she's a rescue as well.
Yes, actually she is.
From
Yes.
a puppy mill?
She came from a situation to where she was involved with killing animals.
Okay.
They're dogs they're herding dogs. They will kill a chicken, and some do and some don't. But she did, and we were told one more chicken and she's dead.
Yeah.
They would just shoot her in the yard. They just didn't care.
Oh.
And it's hard to believe, but to some people, dogs don't mean as much as they do to some of the other people.
I know. To some, yeah. I just can't. Yeah. There's very few things that get me upset. I'm pretty liberal about everything, but this whole puppy mill thing just really, really bothers me to the core. And also treating dogs. I mean, these are companion animals. These are animals that will do anything for a human, and we should at least give them a good life if at all possible.
There is no more loyal love than a love of a dog.
No. And we trust these dogs to be companion animals, not only that, but to be service dogs.
Sure.
To help you. To tell you when you can cross the street?
Sure.
Good God.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I mean...
Some people won't do that.
I was going to... You took my words out of my mouth, Kenny. All right. Tell me about Clancy's Dream, how you got the name for it, and who it's in honor of.
Right. Years ago, many years ago, we raised dogs. And we raised Border Collies, and we got into it, and we realized that these are a very special breed. We moved to a farm in Indiana, and we go, we like dogs, let's get a Border Collie, which we did. And then we got a companion dog, and it just happened to be that they were both registered dogs. They both had very good bloodline, but that wasn't important, as far as the bloodline. But we wanted the dogs to have a good home, and so we started there. Well, in 2013, when we worked on the puppy mill situation, what occurred, we wanted to be part of the solution and not part of the problem.
Right.
Because there's too many dogs out here. There just are. And so Clancy was our main dog. He was the boss dog of the farm. And Clancy passed away in front of me. He just dropped dead.
Okay.
And it was at 10 years old, and we wanted his legacy to live on because he was a great dog. So we did do rescue behind the scenes, but we didn't do it officially. And when he did, 13, 14 days after, we were a registered nonprofit, and we were on the go. And that started Clancy's Dream.
And you still are on the go.
And we still are. It's about a 10 to 12 hour a day job. Easy. It starts at 6 in the morning and goes to 11 or 12 o'clock at night with emails and answering messages.
So is that what keeps you going, is knowing how many you've rescued and the work that's still to be done?
No, what keeps you going is when you look at their face.
Yeah. Oh. We're both going to cry here.
They're so helpless at times, and they depend on us so much, and we let them down so often sometimes, and so we just want to say one more. We actually pulled 3 dogs yesterday from situations, 2 in shelters and 1 from a private relinquish.
Now, I said we weren't going to go into this. We talked beforehand, but part of your goal in life is to shut down puppy mills. And I will say that is my goal, along with Pamela Terhune, who is with the Grateful Rescue and Sanctuary. Because we have seen some things, you've seen some really terrible things, even worse than we have. And I don't think most people would. A lot of people don't know, and that's one thing. But to go to a pet store and buy a pet knowing that it's coming from a puppy mill, that's wrong. Don't do that.
The one thing, when we worked on the puppy mill in Lafayette, it literally changed my life.
Wow.
It changed the way I sleep, the way I get up, the way I relax, even the way that I can smell things. You'll never forget that smell, and you'll never forget the sights. If you think that you know what a puppy mill is and you have not been to one, you have no idea what it is.
Oh.
You have no idea. And it's something that they're just like a hammer. Nobody cares about those dogs there. And the unfortunate part with Border Collies is not only are they certified as the smartest dog, they are the most active dog out there. They're herding dogs.
Yeah.
And if they can't get what they want, it's going to literally destroy them. And it does a lot of times. And the dogs are ruined. Sometimes you'll never fix them.
Well, also puppy mills are inbred as well. They don't care about their health.
They don't care.
I don't know anybody who's bought a dog from a pet shop who hasn't had some issues with it as far as either health-wise or mentally.
Correct.
So, again, trying to emphasize the fact, go to a responsible breeder, get the health records, see the mom dog, see where the puppy was born. They won't do that at a pet shop. So,
no,
they
you'll
can't-
never
and
get that information there.
What they'll do is take the dog back and then yeah. Okay, so puppy mills, we're going to try to work on that. How do we help you? How do we help you and Border Collies? Okay, tell me some more about Border Collies. Tell me about the breed. This is a fabulous breed. I could never have a Border Collie because they're smarter than I am. Go ahead.
Well, that's one thing. When we raise dogs, that's one thing that we always have always call it the come to Jesus talk. This is what you're going to get. Be prepared for a lecture for 30 to 40 minutes. And with that, we want to make sure that the dogs get what they need. Through our rescue, just because you apply for a dog doesn't mean you're going to get a dog.
Good.
It doesn't mean you're going to get the next dog. What we have is our foster director literally will research the people, research the dog, and she'll make what we call the perfect match. In other words, if you're an elderly person and you want a young dog, it's not going to happen. If you live in an apartment and you don't have a lot of activity, it's not going to happen.
Right.
You have to make the right decisions,
Yeah.
and we have to make the tough decisions.
But there are some people who clap back at that. You know that.
Oh,
and they'll
of course.
say, well, I can't. I have to fill out this form, and they're going to see if I have a fence or if I'm active or whatever. I can go to a pet store and buy it.
You're right.
And do it today. I
Right.
don't have to fill out any forms. I don't have to be investigated. I just go and buy the dog.
You're right.
What do you say to them?
Well, it's going to be a bad move because in 6 to 8 months, they're going to call somebody and they're going to go, what do we do?
Right.
2 of the dogs that we picked up, out of the shelters, they were placed in the shelters just yesterday, or they were placed when we picked them up yesterday. They were gone. They went to the shelter strictly because the person said, I don't know what to do with them.
Right,
I can't handle them.
Right.
So you need to be smart. You need to research the breed and see what you're getting.
That always gets me because someone says, well, I'm going to turn in, my Pyrenees got to be 150 pounds. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
At least Google it. Well,
Yeah.
I didn't know that whatever, a husky, you can't take them off leash because they're going to roam. Really?
gosh.
You didn't know that?
Right.
You, at the very least, Google it, then meet someone who has one of those dogs that's
Right.
a breed
Right.
and see what they have to say. And I do know someone who got an older couple and they got a, I think it was an Australian Shepherd puppy. And they had to turn it in. Now, it
Sure.
did get adopted by somebody else because they couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
It was too active. So know your breed. Go ahead.
Sometimes the unfortunate part about that, they don't give the dog up until it's too late.
Right.
And then they're really just passing a problem. So, again, when I used to raise dogs, I would always send out, information to the people that inquired. And I would tell them the reason not to get a Border Collie. And, they're not for the faint at heart. Because there is going to be problems. It may work for 6 or 8 months, but I promise you at 18 months, you've got a problem
Right.
if you don't do what the dog needs. Remember, they're smart.
And active. Have you seen the one on, I think it's on Facebook, I know it's on Google. If you Google Border Collies, and there's one where they're out at a farm, and there's all these sheep out there, and 2 herds of sheep. And this Border Collie goes out and herds them all back into the farm area, and then they pan back, they pull back a little bit, and you see there's a Great Pyrenees there going, go ahead, boy, go and do it, because I'm not going to do it, because know your breed. This is instinct. They and then there's some people say, well, I got a dog and he's nipping my grandkids' heels, because he's hurting them.
Yeah, okay. I wonder why.
I wonder why. All right, so here's some of the problem. What do we do? Where do you want to start? What do you start?
Well, education, it has got to be the first thing, and I also blame some of this, on the breeder. The breeder itself, and even though I have been in this arena, but the one thing that we did is where do you live? What do you do? We pick up dogs to where we had an elderly person on a walker in an assisted living home that had a Border Collie. My God, did the breeder not ask a question? Did they not look into that? Or is it just about the money? Sometimes it's just about the money.
Yeah,
and that's the same thing with puppy mills.
Yeah.
It's about the money.
Yeah.
How much money can I make?
And they don't do they don't. All right, so how we're starting. I know Pamela and I are kind of trying to figure out, and we want to partner with you, so we'll say it's on the air, that we'd like to help to shut down these puppy mills and do the best that we can. Because, and again, as you say, people just don't know. They've never seen the things. I've never seen the things you've seen. What I've seen is bad enough, but what you've seen has changed your life.
It has literally changed my life. When we were actively in that, and for 3 years, I never went to bed. Never did I lay my head on the pillow and not wonder what are the dogs doing when it's 5 degrees below zero and they're in an unheated barn.
Yeah, there's no ventilation,
there's there's nothing.
No air conditioning, no sunlight, no.
That's what you think of. That's what's in my brain. That will never change me. The one that I'll never ever forget was a dog that was in a 3x6 cage. It was chained on a 6-inch chain to the front hook. And I asked the person, I said, why is this dog chained up? He said, we're trying to fatten it up to get puppies. And that dog literally could not move inside that 3x6 kennel. Could not move.
Okay, you'll join us, right?
Absolutely. I'm telling you, it's got to stop.
Yes, I'm with you all the way. Thank you. Kenny, you're wonderful. I'm so glad that I met you in whiskey. I look at whiskey and it's all better. But we have miles to go before we sleep. We'll do the best we can. Someone's listening to this. They would like to help you. They would like to help your rescue. They would like to maybe get a Border Collie. How does someone get a hold of Kenny Shuck?
Well, you can go to the website. It's clancysdream.org. We've got a lot of information. If you want to see who Clancy really was, his story is on the front page.
Right.
It's very heartwarming. But we've got forms there. We've got advice on there. We've got how you can help. If you want to donate, you can do that. Okay. There's a lot of things that you can do. My phone number actually is there. If you want to call me, call me. I get 15, 20 calls a day.
You do?
People just
and you answer them.
The dog 3 dogs ago, we asked the guy. It was 8:00 at night, and I said, "Why did you call us?" He said, well, after 50 other people, he said, you're the only person that answered the phone.
How about that? Well, I should say that. I called you, too. Remember?
Yeah.
I saw your Facebook post, and I called you, and you answered me as well. Also, look, on Pet Pals TV, you will see some of Kenny's story as well, and Clancy's Dream. We've got that up there, too. So... Thank you, Whiskey. Don't bother me. I'm looking at Dad. Thank you. Clancy'sDream.org. Clancy'sDream.org. Thank you so much for all that you do, and we're going to do more.
Thank you.
You're going to get tired of me. You're not going to answer the phone.
You can't get tired in this. You can't. There's no rest for the weary.
Oh, no rest for the weary. There you go. All right, that's it for Patty's podcast, Positively Patty podcast, and we'll see you next time. So take care as we take this pause. Thank you. This has been the Positively Patty podcast from Wish TV. I'm Patty Spittler. Be sure to follow and subscribe to this podcast. Make sure you do that now. And check out for new updates every single week. You can also learn more at wishtv.com. And when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
Discover more pet-friendly stories at petpalstv.com. And stay with Wish TV online at wishtv.com and when you follow Wish TV on Facebook. Be sure to like and subscribe to this podcast and discover more great podcasts from the All Indiana Podcast Network now at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.